Good morning, good afternoon. This is Nikki, you also known as Faces Trader, and you're watching the September 10 Awesome 10X Live update for the Philippine market. Thank you for watching. If this is your first time, you could subscribe to the channel. We would appreciate it. If you're watching this on replay, also appreciate that you are subscribed to the show. We are very happy, and today is actually my birthday. I'd like to share my event this September 12th. I'm sharing this Facebook event page, how to build your first ever 10x global stock portfolio. You can register here at the http://bit.ly/awesome10x inner circle. The fee would be 2,000 pesos for a month access to inner circle so that you could try to see how we help our clients, Filipinos and non-Filipinos alike, how to build their very first 10x global stock portfolio. It's actually also an opportunity because recently some of our good stocks are actually giving you a discount. This is actually a great time to open your accounts. If you haven't opened your global accounts, you will be able to get companies like Spotify, Facebook, Google, Tencent, a lot of our company picks, even the IPOs upcoming, Airbnb is coming, Stripe is come. I'm not sure about Stripe, but if it is, then it's also a great company that you could buy once listed. And Snowflake is also listing. I'm not sure if it's going to be by September or October. There are definitely at least 10 IPOs that we are excited about. And of course, Airbnb is something that maybe most of you know. But there will be a lot of other companies and also in the SPAC sector that are truly great 10x trends that are wonderful to discuss. Just shouting out loud that if you have friends and family who wants to open an account and truly build their very first ever global stock portfolio, come join us this September 12th. It's going to be 10 a.m. to 12 noon. It is really one of the best times where you could learn a few things such as what are the awesome 10x principles and concepts behind creating your very first diversified global stock portfolio, investing in secular 10x trends. How do you pick the global businesses in that trend? And what are the frequently asked questions that people who have zero idea investing abroad, we want to answer those questions in this class. And of course, within this class, we will give you a 1-month subscription. It will allow you to be here with us 24/7 live assisted trading guidance for your Philippine and US markets, direct access to me, and of course to Anton Diaz, who's also been helping me promote this to a wider audience. And you are also invited to our daily Zoom classes, which are also recorded. So if you can't come 5:30 to 6:30 p.m., you can also join in replays. Exclusive Slack channel for all our awesome 10x stock picks, feedbacks, ideas, and inspiration from the peers will also be there to help you in your 10x global investing journey. So with that, let me now discuss the Philippine market. Today, the market is quite healthy. The Philippine markets is at 5,900, down 30 points. But you could see that there's a slew of winners and losers. Advancers are 101. Market value is quite good. It's 5.47 billion pesos. You have foreign nets buying for the first time of 420 million pesos. That's a good thing. What I like about today is that the market value picked up and the foreign net buying has also happened. So what happened? Philippine stock index is down. All shares are down. Financials are up. Industrials are steady. Holdings are down. Properties are down. Mining is down. Services are down. The funny thing is, even if there's a lot of down, your financials are actually up. Security Bank is up 1.9%. AGI continues higher, 1.75%. Meralco is up. Ayala Land, BDO, Robinson's Land, Mega World, some properties continue to defend themselves and not succumb to profit taking. Well, even if there are a lot of losers in this index department, what you could see is that there are 101 advancers. That means that some of your non-index names have went up. So what happened in your stats? Let's take a look at that. Your top gainers for the day are actually some non-index movers. Your green is up 8%. Your PNB is up 15%, 65 million, trading at 22.9. Although it's not a lot of trades, at least from a value perspective, that is significant. Now, your SSI is also up 7.6%. closing at 127. That's a good move with about 22 million pesos. Your IRC is up 7%. So we are seeing some non-index in your top gainers, some non-index names that are also up. Your Frutas is up 4% from 116 to 121. Your STI is up at 11 million pesos. Okay, so few trades, no? But 11 million pesos, 4.84% up. The other 5% up is your All HC. This is from 1.83 to 1.93. So we are seeing actually in the winner's circle a lot of non-index companies. So the value traded is quite important. Take note at what's this? Your Century Pacific is now 18.3. We have highlighted the news about Century Pacific doing quite well in the pandemic and even doing exports of coconuts. So that's good to see. I featured it about 16.3 on the news. It's good to see that there are a pickup of volume in the CNPF. So today's biggest winners are actually non-index. Now take a look at the worst losers. In your worst loser space, the happy thing is that only Ayala Corp has volume on the downside. At 700 pesos, it's down 2%. Bloomberry is down slightly after hitting 7, but we would consider that more as a profit taking rather than a distribution. Now, Cebu Pacific here is down slightly 3%, 15 million pesos. Your CHP, also some profit taking here at 157 to 152, but down 3%. DMW, 27 million. You are still seeing some sellers of DMW, 575, but we could see that some selling as well in JG Summit, some selling in Aboitiz Equity Ventures there, 61 pesos for JGS is now 60 pesos. Aboitiz Equity from 48 to 47.5. FGen also falling down, 50 million pesos down 2%, back to 25. Globe also falling from 2132 to 2080. But the good thing is that it's not like massively being sold. So let's take a look at your most active. From your most active, you've got some reds and greens. From your red signs aren't really a true big number. Apart from Ayala Corp falling down 2% or Globe 2%, 2.5% from Bloomberry, the rest didn't really fall much. It's just steady naman. And then your financials are crawling 1.9% to Security Bank. This is substantial for PNB, 15% up today. What exactly happened for this PNB to rise 65 million pesos at 15% up? So that's something that we want to discuss here. And then top traded, let us see. In the top traded, of course, your BDO steady at 92. That's good to see. Your Ayala Land at 30, trying to hold on to that area. Despite that 30 pesos, still a resistance that has to be broken above. And the 32, 33 might still present a resistance. That said, Ayala Corp is one of your biggest losers today, but it's still steady at 700. And with Ayala Land holding that 30 mark, we can actually see Ayala Corp actually bottoming out rather than being sold down aggressively. So this is interesting on my end that the green is up 8% at 222. I've been seeing that rally in the tickers. So that's actually wow. I think I saw it from about 150. Now it's about 220. So some of your non-index movers are particularly something to discuss today, even from just the chart perspective. And take a look at so today it's more of a non-index mover day. So let's take a look at the charts that are truly amazing. Okay, let's take a look. So Greenergy has rallied from 60 cents to 2.3, almost about 300% from that March lows. This is a V-shaped move from Greenergy. I've been seeing it at 150, even at 150, 160, 170. This is still a significant 50% rally in the last 3 months. I don't know anything about it, but from a charting perspective, that is congratulations to anyone who has this. How high can Greenergy go? We know that there are some Chinese companies, right? This went from about 2 to 380 before because of Chinese news disclosure. I'm not sure what the news is for Greenergy. Probably the same thing. So, but this is just actually a 50% Fibonacci retracement from before, no? So if you'll take a look from the peak to the bottom, this is not this is not a reversal yet. This is just really a mean reversion. The fact that it was able to hit 222, you might still see some pressures from these people to unload here. So those who got in high might be selling here at about 222, even if it can rally to 240. If you're buying today, it is not recommended. But if you had this, then you have to sell above 220 to 240 with the chance to buy it back at 180. Really depends on your cost. So you want to be trimming on the way up. This is actually good to see today. PNB rallies 22.9 with significant volume. That is a 15% move. So this strong volume today and strong move is actually interesting from a chart perspective. So there still remains resistance here at about 23, 24, and 26. So but this move today is quite particularly noticeable. So let's take a look at whether PNB actually had earnings or what was the catalyst for that move today. 15% up with significant volume doesn't happen every day. Is this a rare occurrence or is there news happening with PNB? Take a look at the news and disclosures, material information for PNB. Let's read it together. September 10, 11 a.m. PNB, let's read it. Okay, what was the news disclosure? Right, it's still loading. Read more. So while it's loading, PNB, we wish to exchange a plan to realize the market value of the bank's prime properties, reducing its low-earning assets to strengthen the bank's financial position. This is necessary once the necessary internal and external regulatory approvals are obtained. So this is good in terms of the company's active management that they want to strengthen their low-earning assets by selling their properties. We hope to see PNB's value truly unlocked. That is indeed a good news. And we might see PNB unlock the potential. There, you can recall that PNB is being touted as one of the cheapest banks in the Philippines. In fact, a couple of years ago, take note that the market cap is 35 billion pesos. If you look at their market value, people were suggesting that the value is somewhere at about 100 pesos. So price to book value is still relatively cheap. 23 pesos is just 0.23. That tells you that this company, even if they can just hit that 40 to 50 peso mark, is already 100% from here. So I suggest that the people who haven't been taking a look at PNB to actually be watching this this development, no? So with a company that has a significant undervaluation, that news and with good volume is actually a potential for this to actually be unlocked. So will PNB rally to as high as 32 or at 437? Let's see the targets here. You have a strong resistance at 39 here. And then, of course, your first resistance in the COVID pandemic is this 25 peso mark. Take note that if the market truly sees that PNB will unlock the value, that 25 here could become not actually a resistance, but even a breakout point. So for now, all we know is that PNB at 20 pesos is your first support. Will it go down? Because some people at 20 might unlock and sell at 23 to 25. That's also possible. But do watch out the developments happening here for PNB. Another interesting thing that we have to discuss is SSI. So SSI has traveled from 1 to 127 in a breakneck speed in the last 6 days. And I'm happy to share that actually SSI, my good friend here, my co-founder for Awesome 10X, my co-partner is Anton Diaz from our Awesome Planet. Actually, he actually interviewed SSI initiative. So you can actually find it at Awesome Planet, SSI Awesome Planet. Some updates, no? So he interviewed the marketing manager of Shake Shack, of Shake Shack, Marks and Spencer Food, Lush, Beauty Bar. This happened on May 19, 2020, and it was it was more like a casual take of how companies like SSI was truly how do I say this, adapting to the COVID world. So the SSI Group had been, of course, all the physical stores have been temporarily closed, but they have opened their online. Actually, those online operations have truly been there. It's just that during the pandemic, more and more people have accelerated their online shift to spending. So some of the SSI brands through the Rustans department store, you could check rustans.com. So why don't we go to one of the shops of Rustans, no? Rustans.com. Well, we can see that SSI is really undergoing one of the global secular trends that we have been seeing worldwide. We have seen a shift of great department stores doing it online. So this is a good thing for Rustans. You could see that you can buy your beauty products, your fine jewelry. So there could be some delivery delays, but they want to ensure that you can have personal shopper on call. So this is an e-commerce company, right? Rustans is a very well-known company for the Philippines, are iconic brands, and they also have transition not just in your retail, but also in some food. No, so if you've ever bought your Shake Shacks in the Philippines, the hamburgers, the Shake Shack, Rustans has always patronized the best brands of the world to be in the Philippines, and that's why we like we actually like the way that SSI has been doing their food brands. They had Shake Shack, they've got Salad Stop, Marks and Spencer Food, they have Lush.com, .ph, beautybar.com.ph. They have great brands, your Brooks Brothers, Coach, Kurt Geiger, Kate Spade, Tory Burch, Superga, Perla, Michael Kors. So all of them are actually available. Of course, if you've been shopping from Zara, so you could see women, okay, the activewear, the blouses. Let's take a look a few of it. If just a few things. This is a subtle, it's a little bit of a promotion on Rustans.com, but also it allows you to shop anything right now online, something that actually Amazon has truly started in 1997. 23 years after, we are seeing that the Filipinos are more adept shopping online, brought about by a lot of knowledge with Shopee, Lazada. Online shopping is normal. We hope to see the penetration rate of shopping online becoming well, I think it is a secular trend. And so this might be one of the best ways to hop into a company with the best iconic brands from the world and being delivered and shipped to your home, at a very achievable price. I think it's even free delivery depending on how much you are buying. So wait up. So let's take a look at the chart first. We know that SSI had an IPO in the last few years at a high steep price of about 7 pesos and 50 cents. True enough, with the COVID pandemic and the apocalypse, they call it the department store apocalypse, we have been seeing that the company has suffered greatly in the business model. So indeed, from 12, it went 99% down to 1 peso. Now, the question is, at 1 peso, can this rally to 3 pesos man lang, or at least 2 pesos? Let's ask the business focus first. Wait, wait lang. Hello? Hello? Who's this? Hello? Okay. Anyway, I'll answer that call later. But as you could see, let me tell you a few things. No, SSI actually was bargain hunted since 2019 by a few people because they saw that SSI has been closing the stores and has truly ramped up not just the retail, but also in the food department. You can understand that they have featured a Chinese. I remember they are bringing a Chinese restaurant. SSI. What was the name of that Chinese restaurant? Crystal Jade. Yeah, Central Square Mall. And then of course they have Shake Shack. They partnered with Shake Shack, Salad Stop. So we could see of the trend. Truly, the SSI Group is aware that the market has done a lot of the food is an experience based thing, and so they felt that the margin in the retail should also complement not just the clothing but also the food. So they did that. Um, and so that is one thing that they did. So far, uh, in the charts, you could see that those were bearing fruit. We saw that in their earnings a couple of years ago, where their losses were trimmed. They closed their stores, so the losses were less. So it was less hemorrhaging from the last few years. And so actually, they were rewarded by the market. You could see that the market saw their initiatives and their strategies. That's why it went up to as high as $3. So you could see this move. Oh, sorry, 550. So 2017, from about 2, it rallied to 540, then went down. From 2, it rallied to 280, went down again to 2, rallied to 360. The fact that it was always having a move up, it means that some people were willing to buy high and truly see SSI as a turnaround reversal company, not a zero. So what are we gonna see today? No, SSI from 350 fell to a new low of 1 peso during the COVID-19 pandemic, and I would argue that actually the pandemic, this might actually be a dark horse bet from Awesome 10x thinking. No, the Awesome 10x thinks about upside versus downside. If you're buying even at 127, your upside at this moment may be curtailed at 148 at the short term, no, in the short term. But if you think about it, if the company truly succeeds in the e-commerce front, given that they have closed a lot of stores and they are saying that e-commerce is they are e-commerce friendly, could it go to the prior resistance of 2 pesos before, or even as high as this 350? Take note that 350 happened because of the flurry of Shake Shack openings of SSI. SSI introduced Shake Shack Manila, and then Shake Shack BGC, Shake Shack Mega Mall. So that food is gonna grow in the next 5 to 10 years. That food segment, which is of course gonna bleed in the first 2 to 3 years, will become profit income generating maybe in the next 5 to 10 years. So with the company right now, SSI is trading 90% below their previous market cap. It's now sorry, let's take a look. I think SSI is trading at what, 5 billion pesos, isn't it? Let me take a look because it's 4 billion. Sorry, it's not even 5 billion, it's 4 billion pesos. So if you think about the intangible values of the brands that it owns, despite being just a middleman, I'd say that there is an opportunity for SSI to actually grow their earnings over time. And the happy thing about this is when you look at their earnings front, diba, net loss this year, but what was happening last year? I think they were already making at least 500 million last year, so 2019. So I'd say that if you are thinking about a company that could potentially be a 300% move, no, or a 200% move, this might actually be the ticket. This might be it, SSI Group. So of course, the Awesome 10x thinking has mindsets because of what we are seeing globally. Let me share to you a few things globally that has been successful transition. No, I'll tell you a few things about the US. This is a company, Farfetch. Farfetch is a luxury e-tailer. So during March, April, we have been seeing, actually since last year, around the $9-10. We were saying na looks like this one has been transitioning. There was a 733 to $10 here. That was a huge gap up. And so it prompted me to actually study it at about 9 and 10. When it fell here at about around March, I did say that, you know, Farfetch is another dark horse pick to buy. It's something that nobody in the e-commerce space would think as a winner, but because the trend was about beauty, about looking good, about shopping online. And for those who aren't aware, Farfetch makes money on a lot of sneakerheads. Farfetch sells a lot of sneakers and a lot of luxury brands. For those who aren't aware, this is farfetch.com. Let me just show to you. So Farfetch.com also owns the top brand, Off-White. They own it. So other than just selling brands that people can shop, they also own a few brands. So whether you're buying some Prada, Valentino, YSL, Balenciaga, Off-White, or jewelries, you could see that the luxury market is quite a resilient market. And the habits or the behaviors of people is that they'll buy from companies that they can trust. And that, I think, is something that Rustan has earned over the years. So in terms of the Philippine counterpart of a Farfetch.com, I'd say that SSI Group is a well-managed company. So market cap, $80 million today. For the Filipinos or non-Filipinos who are watching my show, I think it's actually something that's worth considering. I'm not thinking about the short term. Of course, the short term, it can go 120 or 115 again, or even 1 peso. But I'd say that from a downside perspective versus an upside, this might actually present one of the dark horse bets of the Philippine companies, a Philippine retail that has transitioned to food. So you can actually consider that from even from restaurateurs, that SSI Group is comparable. No? So SSI Group is not just clothing, but it's now also into hamburgers and salad stops. So strong volumes here, not bad. Good volume, good pickup. And I like the story. Actually, there's no story, no? Ako lang nagsabi ng mga stories na yan. But you know, from my own judgment lang, my analysis is that this one looks to be a turnaround. It's a reversal play. So let me take a look at your comments. Maybe I can learn about your comments too. Okay, let me ask first your questions. Thank you, Felixy. Yes, it's my birthday. Thank you to everyone to everyone watching the show and greeting me happy birthday. There's a question: is Frutas a good buy now? So I think it is very crucial for most restaurants, kiosks, and retailers to truly sell online. Frutas has been doing a lot of direct to consumer deliveries, no, in the COVID time. And if the Filipinos will truly be a D2C market, it presents an opportunity for Frutas. So I'd say that at 120, it's in the same boat as SSI, no? It's in that D2C movement. But from a sales perspective, let's take a look at Frutas, okay? Frutas makes how much sales in a year? So between the two, I'd say that ito, 2.5 billion, Frutas. How much revenues does Frutas make in a year lang, ha? I can check naman. Let's take a look. Kahit na nung let's say prior pandemic pa, Frutas sales. I think kasi SSI makes more sales eh. So Frutas revenue is 2 billion, the market cap is 2 billion. So in a way, it is quite expensive versus, let's say, SSI sales. How much does Rustan sales, no? Rustan's SSI sales. The Rustan's group, 24/7 online shopping. Tantocos have diversified the old Rustans to SSI Group, sees more consumer increased spending. Of course, it's going to benefit when you finally bounce back the Philippines. But yeah, the consumer spending right now is, of course, not as high. Let's see, Rustan's SSI store specialist group revenues. Aha. About SSI. This is a 36% drop in net income. How much revenues do they do now? Let me see. Hindi ko memorize, guys. But I think it's more than 10 billion. Tama ba? Magkano ba? Let's see their revenues. SSI Group 2019 revenues. Okay, so yeah, so you could see that for 9 months they already make 15 billion pesos. So it's about 20 billion pesos. So for a company trading at what? 4 billion versus 20 billion pesos in sales. Even if you say that sales this year would be about 10 billion or just 8 billion, so it's trading at 0.5 times price to sales. So there's leeway talaga for SSI to actually reverse. Between Frutas and SSI, I would say that my better pick would be SSI. Do you see pullbacks or profit taking for AGI and ASEN? AGI would have some pullbacks, maybe at 6 pesos, 6.20. I don't know how low that people would take profits. But if you look at AGI sales, it is not as bad. So eventually all the sellers, all the profit takers will be taken over by buyers. So I don't think it is a huge sell anyway. If you have it, if you really want to take profit, you can. But I don't see a deep pullback. Or if it happens, I'd say that more people will buy. For ASEN, I don't see a deep pullback, just shallow, maybe profit taking, but shallow pullbacks. How would the pandemic affect the consumer behavior of Filipinos and the SSI Group? So this is just my speculation. I think that what used to happen, and this is true naman abroad, no? A lot of people have been saying that what took 10 years to shift a behavior in e-commerce has happened in 10 weeks. So during the pandemic, I can attest this for you personally, that a lot of the friends and the family that I have who never shopped online suddenly became an online shopper out of need. Whether they used to not use Shopee or Lazada, they now became a user. They didn't use GCash before. Suddenly, in 10 weeks, they're now using GCash. And they're using online banking, digital banking. I think this has huge implications on retail companies. SM Prime has to understand that the Filipinos are willing to shop online. Pure Gold has to realize, Robinson's Retail, all of your big retail companies in the Philippines has to recognize that the Filipinos are okay to do online shopping. And SSI Group has been aware, actually for quite the longest time. It took the pandemic for people to truly shift their spending. And so I would say that SSI Group, the closing of the stores in the past, would continue to make them close more stores, and rental rates would be something on the SSI advantage. I'll tell you that Amazon, what happened abroad is that Amazon groceries, they took about 3,000 square feet in a Kohl's department store. So what's going to happen truly is that your existing department stores will become like showrooms, and then you can shop online. So I would be hopeful to see what SSI Group has to say on their e-commerce during the pandemic. And I would normally see 100 to 200% increase. Let's say before the pandemic, let's say SSI Group sales was about 200 million pesos only online. I could easily see it even go 5 billion on sales in the next couple of years. And it's a cheaper way for SSI to sell, no? Kasi if they can sell directly to consumers, they know your behavior. It's how Starbucks did it. Starbucks is also, for those who aren't aware, Starbucks in the Philippines, it's not in the SSI Group, but it's the Tantoco family. So the fact that the Tantoco family knows how the Starbucks operates in the Philippines, they are the franchise owner of the Philippine Starbucks. I'd say that when it comes to D2C, direct to consumer, this company, this SSI Group, has the track record to truly succeed in a D2C environment. D2C means direct to consumer environment. So if you're gonna ask me, what would Nikki's bet be on the direct to consumer Philippine trend with e-commerce and great brands and a great management? Baka SSI fits that, maybe. And it's not expensive right now. It's kind of cheap. So I hope that I hope that our speculation will truly be true. Now, are there any chance that mag-break out ang MaryMart after Ghost Month? You know, I think MaryMart didn't break out not because of Ghost Month. It's because at 2 billion pesos, magkano ba talaga yung kayang sales ng MaryMart? I think the market is in the wait and see mode for MaryMart. What is a good price to buy ASEN right now, which is ASEF, no? I'd say 270, 280. You want to wait? Minsan if you missed it, take a look at what you don't see that's actually reversing. So, di ba? Right now, I'm talking about your opinions as well, kasi hindi naman, I'm not smart enough to know everything. I think that this might be an overlooked and neglected sector nga yung retail. So what if retail can actually be the bang for your money? Maybe renewable energy like ASEN has rallied already. If you didn't buy at about 220 to 235, okay to buy at 270 maybe. Pero ngayon, 310 siya. So hintay ka. If walang drop, try to find other companies. Happy day, so you never get old. Thank you, yes. What is your idea about commodity expiration? I read it in eToro. I'm not quite familiar with mga commodities, so or expiration. That might be a derivative, so I can't answer that question. Any thoughts on Reset Green's incorporation? Actually, Green is a good moves, no? I think like wala akong masabi. It's a bit of a speculation on the investors of Green on what's gonna happen, no? So hopefully may mangyaring maganda dyan. I remember that Greenergy had a Chinese, diba? Greenergy, last year to Greenergy Chinese investor, something like that China is bankrolling green energy projects. Hindi, that is for China talaga. So that's renewable. Philippines Greenergy. Ang hirap kasi, ang tagal na 2011. Parang after 9 years, hindi naman natuloy. Tuloy na ba talaga? So I don't really know. I think like with Greenergy, the risk is execution. So if they really execute, then it's gonna go well. So I think like on an execution standpoint, you want to wait and see. But Greenergy went already up So I think if you're speculating at this point, baka it's too late. Pero if it continues higher, syempre, we cannot predict naman. So it's always risk-reward. I think like the risk-reward ratio at current level of green is quite high. Pag hindi ka naka-bet before, probably mahirap to follow now. So yun, the good thing in the Philippine market is that advancers seem to be plenty naman. Index, non-index movers today, malakas. As you know, nakita nyo, Frutas went up, SSI went up. If it dips, maybe. Pero between the two, I think SSI has the bigger upside here Ano pa ba? PNB, mukhang may magandang moves nangyayari. Let's take a look. More of watch list siya. Let's see what's happening. It's good to see na in the last few days, may volume yung SSI and PNB. So I'll give my private speculation is that I think SSI and PNB is worth a watch. And then for those that we don't have, okay lang. Congrats na lang sa mga meron. And I think like the green move is a good thing. So hopefully may mangyari talagang renewable energy sa green. So yun lang. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Sige, see you later. Please don't forget, September 12, inviting you guys. We have a Facebook event page. You can register there, or you can go to the register.bit.ly. So how to build your first ever 10x global stock portfolio. Do check it out. Inviting you guys to actually invest in mga Airbnb, mag-invest kayo sa mga great companies that you yourself are using. So Filipinos are using a lot of Facebook, Instagram, Shopify. In fact, Rustan, makikita mo yan that store is a Shopify store. So those things are all companies that you can invest in. The beautiful thing about US is that you don't even have to have a huge amount. We tell people that they can invest for as little as $1,000. They can invest globally. Fractional shares are available. The minimum investment is not steep, $1 fixed fees. So do check out the Awesome 10X channel. There's a lot of information on how to invest globally. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.